Okay, and we are live. We're live for episode 2 of the Finance, Faith, and Freedom Show with me, Zani. I am really excited about this second episode because I have a guest with me, and I hope you guys can see her. Let me just make sure that we can see, and it is being streamed. And you can see it, my special guest Stephanie here with us. I had her on the podcast before, in season 1, and we were speaking about, basically just the challenges and the desires that God has placed within her. But this time around, I really want us to have a really deep conversation, a really transparent conversation of what it looks like as a busy mom creating an online business and what that looks like. Because I feel like a lot of us moms, we kind of want to wait, right? It's kind of thing in which like you want to wait for one season to be over before you start another season kind of thing. But I am of the mindset that, you know what, that in this season of motherhood, that we get to create the impact and the income that we desire. Because I feel like God has given us a purpose and a calling right now. And it's a right now calling, right? And it's a space where we live in right now where it's possible for us. So I wanted to bring Stephanie on just to share her journey and to share her story of how she's making it possible because she homeschools. And so let Stephanie introduce herself again and just tell you a little bit about her journey right now in motherhood and business. So Stephanie, over to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. Thanks, Zanny, for having me on your show. As she mentioned, my name is Stephanie Rell, and I am a transformational weight loss coach. So I help moms not only lose weight, but also have a transformation in their body, mind, and spirit. So we cover so many things like confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs, so that they can ultimately just thrive in their business and feel good in their bodies. So I have 3 little ones, 6-year-old twins and a 3-year-old little girl. And yes, I do homeschool. It was something that I wanted to do since I was young because my mother homeschooled me. So I had that in my heart. When I had kids, that's what I was going to do. But it's been challenging, of course.
To say the least.
Right now, they are on one of their online classes, but they probably they always need me. So I have the door closed, so no, we have no interruptions. But yeah, managing motherhood, homeschooling, bringing that on top of it, and then business. It is a lot. I have to say, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's a breeze and anybody can do it.
And especially it's not 1, it's 3. And I think that's the thing, right? Yeah, if you can do it, I mean, seriously, go right ahead.
Right. And I don't doubt that anyone else can do it. I'm not above anybody else, but I'm also going to say that it comes with challenges. It comes with, sometimes feeling like, what am I doing? Is this possible? Doubt sometimes. Like a lot of feelings can come in, especially when it comes to, for me, what I had to a big struggle with as a mom to little ones is that overstimulation, just like constant screaming, constant need of my attention, constant bickering back and forth between the siblings. And for like, I didn't know how to regulate myself, my feelings that I was feeling when all that's going on. I didn't know. My mom didn't talk to me about that. It wasn't until later that I knew that there was something called overstimulation and that there was, self-regulation. I didn't know that. I just knew that I just knew that I was stressed out and I wanted to scream myself. You know what I
That is
mean?
very interesting. I think you should speak a bit into that because I think that's something that people are not aware of, to be fair. Like I was literally last night, couldn't sleep as always. And I was on TikTok and I saw this video where a mom and dad, and they have like 10 children. I don't know what kind of craziness, but they had the mom and dad and the 10 children watching TV. The mom got up and every single child got up behind their mom, right? They did an experiment. They went
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
and then, okay, then I had another clip now where the dads get up and nobody bunch an eye. Right? I was like laughing, my head off, like laughing tears off my eyes. Because isn't that true with moms, right? We are constantly bombarded. The fathers could be here and it's always mommy, always mommy. You go to the toilet, mommy's there. So like tell us a bit more about this overstimulation and the regulation, because I think this is so important, especially when you're trying to build a business. Like tell us a bit more about
Well, I have to say that part of my inadequacies in my business was like represented in my inadequacies. I can't even speak. My inadequacies as a mom,
that.
because for the longest time I would be presented with the screaming, the crying, the need of me, and I would feel like anxiety.
Yeah,
And I would scream. I would scream back at them. I would scream, in general. And obviously, that wasn't something that was fruitful
yeah,
for either of us, because it just created more anxiety in me. It created anxiety in the child, and it just didn't result. And then what it would result in would be shame. I would
yeah,
feel like bad, be like, I'm a horrible mom. Why did I scream at my child? Like, just feeling complete guilt and shame for doing that. And I was
yeah,
like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to handle my feelings in this situation. And so I followed a bunch of different like parenting influencers, because there's an
yeah,
influencer for everything nowadays. That talked about these things, the self-regulation, the overstimulation, which comes, it's natural for a 5-year-old to just scream mom, 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 right, over and over and over again. It's natural for my 3-year-old to want to be on my hip all the time and sit on my lap all the time and want to cuddle all the time. That's natural. They don't understand the difference of mommy needs private time, mommy's
yeah,
working right now, mommy needs this. They don't understand my needs. They
yeah,
understand their needs, and their
exactly.
needs.
And then when you're working from home, it's like you don't have an outlet, right? Because you're constantly there. So then how do you then say to your child, as you said before, they don't understand that. Mommy's work. I experience that now with my 5-year-old still. Mommy's working. And they're like, no, but I want to be with you. I want to, they still want to be around you.
Right, right. And so they always want to be with me, like you mentioned, in the bathroom. Can't go to the bathroom alone. Uh, if I disappear for whatever, right? Like if they're watching TV and I step out, oh, they'll find
Yeah,
me. They'll
yeah,
find me.
yeah,
um, so one of the things that I had to really work on was meeting their needs first. And I don't mean this in a way like our needs aren't important.
hmm,
Our needs are very much important. And I speak a lot about how we need to make ourselves a priority so that we can be our best for our kids and our families. So important. But when I was trying to get work done and they're yelling at me because maybe they're overstimulated themselves by their sibling, or they one classic thing right now, I'll tell you, that happens all the time. They can't find their favorite stuffed animal. Oh, they cannot find their favorite stuffed animal. It's like hell breaks loose. So
yeah,
certain little things, or they're hungry or whatever, I need to first say, my child has a need that hasn't been met, and I need
hmm,
to address that right here. And
yeah,
so I'll find their stuffed animal, or I'll give them a snack, or I'll hold them close for a little while and just tell them I love them so that they can self regulate.
oh yeah, that's good.
And then they're able to move forward. But for them, it's almost like they cannot stop until the need is met. And so
Yeah,
we're trying to work against it, because we're like,
yeah,
just sit down, or just do this, or just work with your kids, or find your toy yourself. That's not going to work.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not going to work, and it's going to create more stress in us. It's going to prevent us from being able to do what we want to do. So say I am trying to sit down and record a podcast episode, but I'm
just
like,
like we're doing now.
and not, and not meeting their needs, and then forget you, they're never going to be able to regulate how they're feeling. It's going to take them a whole lot longer. And then they're going to have this sense of um
Neglect.
neglect, not feeling loved, not being
Yeah,
good enough. And I'm like, I'm trying to work against women trying to feel that way, but yeah, I'm cultivating that in my children right here, right
Yeah.
now. And it's
Yeah.
like, it was a big realization. Like, I didn't understand that. I really
Yeah,
didn't
and
understand.
honestly, I really get my hats off to you because I feel like with one, I do, and I experienced that as well with my 5 year old, my 1 5 year old, and I'm thinking you have three of them, so you have three different needs that you have to kind of meet. Because
Yeah,
I agree with that sometimes. Like when I feel a bit stressed about something because I'm trying to get something done and she's trying to get my attention, like I have no choice but to just drop everything and be like, what is it that you need? What can I get you? Like pay attention to her needs first, because there's no way most, I know some moms probably could get on with it, but for me, there's no way I could kind of just try and push through or power through and get things done and then have her there screaming or shouting or doing whatever. So I think that that's so important that we kind of understand that we need to kind of like pay attention to what they need first, and then we can then carry on with what we need to get done,
right.
and that's important as well. So see, for you, you're thinking like regulating it is just like meeting their needs, right? Giving them a hug, reassurance, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So there's their regulation and then there's our regulation. So for me, it can be taxing to try to meet all their needs. It could take a long time, some time out of my day. And for me, like when I'm not productive, I get anxiety. I'm
Yeah,
like, I didn't get this done. That means I'm not good enough.
yeah,
I can't do this. So for me, I literally have to be able to have those moments where I can breathe, where I can maybe pray, where I
yeah,
can just be alone and just let the feelings of that anxiety and overwhelm settle. And
yeah,
that looks different every time. So sometimes when my husband's home, I'm like, listen, I got to do this. I
yes.
really need you to be present with the kids right now because I've had enough today. Right. And I just need give me 20 minutes, give me 30 whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
So that I can be by myself. And that makes a huge difference
it
because if I
does.
just keep going, and then I'm running on E, you know what happens when you run on E in your car?
You're
You're
gonna
not gonna
stop.
move anymore. You're not gonna be able to work your car anymore.
Yeah,
So
you're
therefore
gonna
you're not
stop.
gonna be able to function anymore, right?
Exactly.
And sometimes, like on the weekends, I tell my husband, I'm going out. I'm going out. I just need to
Yeah,
be by myself.
I
Like, and
agree.
sometimes I'll just go out and I don't really buy anything. I'll just walk through the store and
Just some
kill
alone
time.
time. Yeah,
Kill time.
yeah,
You
just
know,
some alone
I
time.
just need it. Or I'll go out with a girlfriend, that
Yeah.
also helps revive us.
Oh, so
So
good.
it looks different all the time. It can be taking a shower by yourself. Like
I
I
know.
always have the kids come in with me for a shower, and it's like, I just want one by myself. Like just by myself. So however it is for you to just be able to decompress and bring you back down, because it's inevitable for anxiety and stuff to well up when we're dealing with so much with the kids, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom and like me running your own business from home. You're constantly surrounded by them, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
homeschooling too, so that adds another challenge on top of it all. So
yeah,
it is difficult, but it is possible.
exactly.
So wherever anyone is in their journey right now, whether they want to start a business, let me tell you, when I started my business, my kids were 3 and I just had my baby.
Yeah,
And it was hard because I was nursing full time. I was tired all the time because newborn babies, like, it's hard. Um, and I also, because I work with weight loss, so I wasn't even all the way down to my weight goal. I
yeah,
lost some weight, but I wasn't all the way down. So I look back at some of my old videos and I was like, oh wow, like I was a lot fuller. Like I had weight on me.
yeah.
But what if I waited till
You
I
didn't make
lost
that
all
stop
the
you.
weight? If I
Yeah,
lost all the weight, that would have been maybe 2.5 years later to start my business and
yeah,
never accomplish anything. But no,
yeah.
I was like, I'm starting now. I'm starting
I
now
love
and
that
I'm
you.
doing it
Yeah,
perfectly.
I love that you said that because that's actually what I was going to ask you now. Just talking about the whole financial aspect and building that business around these challenges, right? Because then some of us could see that see it as a challenge or a roadblock. I'm homeschooling, I've got twins and a newborn, right? And so we're probably thinking, as you rightfully say, a lot of moms would be like, I'm going to wait till 2 years until my baby's weaned and until this one is done. But I feel like if when we're in this energy of waiting for something to happen, then something else happened, and then something else happened, and we
Right,
constantly
right.
push back. So tell us like how you really, yeah, I love that you started off that, but how did you kind of navigate that, and what like did you need this, what kind of support that you needed to get you where you are right now?
Yeah. So I wanted to start a business for a while. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. There was a lot of things that went through my mind.
Because
And
you're
for
a
those,
registered nurse as well.
I'm a registered nurse. Yeah, I was just going to say, for those people that didn't know, I
Yeah,
worked as a nurse for 10 years. And it was my goal to come home to raise my children once I had children. So
yeah,
that's why I stopped working as a nurse. But something deep in me knew that I had a calling, I had a purpose, and that even though I didn't want to go back into the nursing field because I wanted to be home with my kids and homeschool them, I was like, I still have something to offer. So I did take a health coaching certification, and I didn't do anything right then and there because I still had those doubts, and there was a lot of self-discovery work that I had to do in myself because I was
yeah.
going through my weight loss journey at that time. Um,
So
I
when you
was
did your certification, how old were your kids?
It was before I had my daughter.
Okay, so you had your
Yeah,
twins.
I had my twins, yep. And then when I had my daughter, I kind of put things on pause, right, for a little bit. And I had all the weight on me. So I was 214 pounds. And I struggled to get it off like I did with the twins. And then I believe the next year, so I had her in 2020 amongst the pandemic. 2021 was when I started working on my weight loss.
Mhm.
And then by the end of that year, I signed up with a coach to help me launch my business.
Yeah,
So it was very hard because I was like, you know, coaching in general is not like cheap. It's not just like, you can just do it and no problem. Like it was an
yeah,
investment. But
yeah.
I think if I didn't make that investment, I wouldn't have started my business. So it was
Exactly. And
the
that's
right
that's
decision
another
to
thing as
move
well. Yeah, but that's another thing too, because if you know that you want to create financial abundance or financial freedom or wealth or whatever in your own business, you definitely have to understand too that you are going to have to do that investment as well. And sometimes it's a sacrifice, right? Because
right.
most times you're on one income, you're on maternity, you have baby, and you're thinking, okay, how am I going to make this turn around as quick as possible? So tell us, like, when did you start making, if you want to share, like, when did you kind of start to make a little bit of income from your business? So, like, how did you kind of feel like, okay, this could grow into something bigger and I'm going to really invest my time more into this?
Yeah, so when I started out, I started with some practice clients because I
Yeah,
didn't have confidence in myself. That wasn't what the coach suggested, but I
yeah,
went against her because I just didn't have confidence in myself. And I was like, well, maybe if I have some people that I can get some wins,
yeah,
um, then I can feel a little more confident to say, hey, I did this, right? Because I just didn't want to go based on my own story.
yeah,
And that's what I did. And they did get success. And I was able to move forward with their testimonies to find new clients. But so I started technically with those clients and the coach in October of 2021. So then when the new year came of 2022, it was probably like 3 or 4 months
yeah,
that I started getting traction and momentum and getting paid clients.
yeah.
And then
Good,
in
brilliant.
the middle of that year was when I signed my first private high ticket client.
Oh, amazing, amazing. And that's just brought to my mind as well, right? When you said that you weren't confident, is another thing. And many of us moms, we have expertise, but we don't see it as expertise, right? Because we don't believe that our transformation is good enough. Tell us about this, because you did do it for yourself, but for some reason you didn't think that that would be able to, like you be able to replicate it, maybe, or that people want to purchase it, that people want to spend the money on it. And then tell us a bit about that mindset work that you had to do. To yes, you said you took on free clients, but then you also had to kind of like see yourself as the expert because you are, right?
Yeah. So like I said, I started my business without reaching my goal weight yet. I
Yeah,
lost 30 something pounds, but I wanted to
but
lose
that is
more than
amazing still, right?
right. Yeah. Um, but I had a lot of weight on me, let's just put it that way. But I was like, you know what, I need to do this now. And for me, I had a lot of like money mindset stuff that I had to work on too. Cause like high ticket coaching, like if you let's just throw a random number out there and say you priced your program at like $3,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. That's not chump change. And
Yes.
so it's almost like an inward thing. Like, am I worthy of $3,000? It's hard because finances is always a thing that people struggle with. But I was afraid to put that number out there.
Yeah.
And also, like your upbringing, like my parents didn't have a lot growing up. They had their jobs, but nothing more. I was living paycheck to paycheck. So that like feeling of lack,
Yeah.
scarcity, just presents itself also in your own life and
Yeah.
thinking that that's how life is supposed to be. Like, you're not just rich, the people that are rich, they either got inheritance or, something miraculous
That's what
happened.
we
Like
think. Yeah. Yeah.
they made it somehow or whatever. Like you think that's just 1% that get that and no one else, everyone's going to live lower class or middle
Yeah.
class, and that's just simply not true. Because what had encouraged me was hearing the stories of those billionaires, millionaires, of how they started. They
Yeah.
didn't start just at the top. They didn't just get it handed to them. They started from very
Zero.
low. Like I heard some stories, like even Kevin Hart's story. He came from a rough family. He wasn't just instantly a millionaire.
Yeah.
He had to work hard day in, day out. Even like Edison, who invented the light bulb, he didn't just invent the light bulb one day and that's it. It was a
Yeah.
one hit wonder. He worked on that several years until it
Yes.
finally came about. So just hearing those stories, hearing like maybe there's someone that you look up to, like look into where they started,
Yeah.
because more than
They just
likely
started.
it's not how you thought it was.
Yeah. The
They
fact is, they started.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. And you know what, too? And it made me think, too, like you said, high ticket as well, and that money mindset that comes into that, which is good because then you get to work on that money mindset. But that's one of the things why I'm so passionate about online courses, too, because I feel like it's a lower and kind of a thing. And not only that as well, but then you are then able to, because obviously as a mom and obviously you're homeschooling too, like it's so much easier for you to package that up now so that you are not like constantly coaching or constantly on calls or constantly doing stuff, right? And when with a course, like you are able to package up your expertise, your knowledge, your process, and it's already done. And then you can also sell that as a not low, but at least you can have some kind of income coming in that is not as high ticket that you feel you have to stretch yourself too much for, you know?
yeah.
So yeah, I know obviously that you were working, you actually have a membership, you have the membership as well. And you still have the membership, and you had a course as well, did you?
So right now I am redoing a couple things. I do have my Sexy Fit Mamas program, which is a 6-month program with me. That's my high ticket offer. But I am working on a couple low ticket offers, and I just launched an app.
Yes.
So that is available. But I'm also working on another little project. I'm going to be calling it Faithfully Nourished. And it's all about, clean eating, meal prep, all those things. So yeah, it's been a journey for sure. And just seeing
Yes.
like the transformation of, my business itself throughout the years, has been fun. It's been hard. It's been a challenge, but it's been fun as well. It's been a learning journey for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. And this is the thing too. This is the beauty about business that we get to shift. It's our business. We get to change it however we want to. We get to fit in with our lifestyle. We get to do it in a way that feels good. And of course, we get to do it in the way that God is leading us to do it. So I love that as well because it's yours. I feel like so many times we get so restricted to thinking that this is the we need to get it done because X, Y, and Z did it. But that's a lie, right? You get to choose how you want to do it. And I'm glad that you were able to show us that you can do it your way as a mom who's homeschooling as well. All right. So, any last words before we wrap up? This has been a really good conversation and very transparent as well. And I think that that's more important than anything else. Just to know that it's not going to be easy, but once you're driven and you have purpose and you have passion, you can do anything. So just let us know, let the listeners know like where they can find you, and you just told us a bit about your program and just like where they can connect with you more.
Sure. So the last thing I want to say is something that I shared on my Instagram live this morning is to not fall into the trap of comparison. That was something that I did in the beginning of my business because I saw too many of the ladies that were in the program that I was in just excelling quicker than I was. And, we often fall into that trap in almost anything in our life, the way other people parents, they have good kids, what's wrong with my kids, or they're married, oh, their husband loves them so much because he does this and this and mine doesn't, or a weight loss journey, oh, why she lost weight so fast and I didn't. And what that does is just holds you back. It holds you
Yeah.
back. It creates these negative thoughts in your mind, and you start feeling that unworthiness. You start feeling like you can't do this, or it creates the opposite where you become so competitive that you want to be better than that other person, and that's not healthy at all either. And in fact, it doesn't fulfill you. It doesn't
Yeah.
fulfill you to try to be better than someone else. We should be collaborating. We should be joining hands with other people instead of just being in competition or trying to be
Yeah.
better. So the
Yeah.
trap of comparison is too much evident in a lot of people that I've spoken to. It just
Yeah, and it
appears.
stifles your own creativity and your own passion, right? Because then you are then looking at their journey and not concentrating on yours, not present, you're not connected. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. So that's my ending thing. And then as far as getting in touch with me, it's pretty simple. Just look up my name, Stephanie Rell, across the board. I just launched a website too, stephanierell.com. So you'll be able to find everything of mine right on there. But I am on pretty much almost all the socials too.
Yeah, this mom is doing everything. She's got app, she's got the website, she's got like on the social media. I love it so much. But and that's the thing, right? I really feel like I speak so much to driven women because the thing is, we could be driven, but we get to do it our way. And I love that about us because, whatever set challenges or setback or obstacles that come our way, we do take it, we, learn from it and we grow, but we keep going. We don't settle. We just keep pushing. And I love that about you. And I love that having you on just talking about this because, life is never going to be perfect, and we always kind of waiting for this perfect situation, but it's never gonna happen. We just need to dive right in now and know that God is gonna take us exactly where we need to go. In fact, He's already given it to us. We just need to take the actions that's gonna lead us to that destination. So
Yeah,
wonderful. Thank you so
absolutely.
much for coming on again and
Thank
just being
you.
transparent. And any last words before we wrap up?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Thank you
sounds
so
good.
much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies. Thanks for watching this live training. Of course, it will be on the podcast as well. So don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video as well, or the audio, whichever one, with any mom who just have a dream or a desire to package her skills and to do something online to create that impact and that income and just looking for that inspiration. Stephanie's a lady to look to. You can do it. She can do it with 3 young ones, right? You can do it, right? So thank you for joining us, and I will see you guys next week on the podcast and live right here on YouTube. Take care. Bye.
Bye.